Hello and welcome, friends. I'm Dan and this is Plant Abundance on YouTube. Today Alice and I wanted to bring you along as we take a look back at the 2019 growing season. All the footage you see in today's video was shot during the 2019 calendar. Now this was the 8th year since the onset of our backyard food forest project. We're happy to report things have continually gotten better and better. One thing that we both noticed right away was that the amount of input that was required from us to sustain the garden was the least it's ever been, yet the amount of abundance that continually flows from the garden has increased. We are feeling very blessed, and we attribute most of the success to the style of gardening that we're doing, which is food forest gardening over traditional conventional gardening. Now, some of the main differences are that early on we established a lot of perennials. It's a perennial-based system. And because of that, a lot of these plants have continually matured year after year. The roots have grown out, they spread out deep into the soil, and they're able to mine nutrients and water on their own without much attention from us. Another thing we do is companion planting. Now there's many ways to accomplish this, but anytime you can combine plants that benefit each other in the same plot, you're going to see an increase in production and a decrease in the amount of effort that you need to put into your garden. Now we do this by including beneficial insect attractors that bring in bees or ladybugs to help fend off some of the pests that might come in and help pollinate the flowers. We bring in nutrient accumulating plants that mine minerals from deep down in the soil and help bring that to the soil surface to feed the other plants. Plants like comfrey do a great job at that. And sometimes we use plants that may grow taller than some of the other plants in the plot to help shade them while they're still young or to create microclimates. But this strategy has proven very successful and we highly recommend it. Another thing that we do is mulch throughout the entire garden in the pathway around the plants. And although our aim is to have a closed loop system in the end, and we do our best at that, we still will bring in some outside materials like wood chips. But we do an awful lot of chop and drop, and we utilize any of the organic material that we produce on site. Leaves, grass clippings, branches, twigs, all that stuff we use to mulch around our plants. So we're able to protect the soil surface and create a nice skin covering. And a side benefit to that is if you're covering the soil surface, more than likely you're going to see the formation of mycelium. Now mycelium is the vegetative part of fungus. So if you see a mushroom pop up, chances are you've got some nice mycelium forming just under the soil surface that you can't see. Now the main benefit to this is that this mycelium can attach to the roots of your plants and actually give them a further reach. Mycelium can spread out for miles and actually get that nutrient and water to the plants through its network of hyphae strands. So it's quite beneficial. So if you're not yet doing mulching in your garden, I highly recommend you reconsider doing that. You're going to be able to conserve water, prevent soil erosion, and help facilitate a nice foundation for mycelial growth. Another style of gardening that we've incorporated into our food forest design is hugelkultur. Hugelkultur is a German concept word meaning mound culture, and the basic premise is that you dig a slight trench and you backfill that with tree stumps and branches and any other organic material you may have on hand, and you mound soil over that. And over time, those wood products in the middle of the mound will break down and become very porous, soaking up lots of water throughout the winter and evaporating that water throughout the summer months, requiring less water from you and creating more production. Now I found it takes about 2 to 3 years to really get those hugel mounds very productive without needing to water them, as it takes some time for that wood to break down and start to rot. This year we've also had a great increase in the amount of fruit that we're getting from our trees. Now many of our trees are now 8 years old, some of them are 7, 6 years old. We add new fruit trees into the system every year, but it's been really nice seeing an abundance of fruit starting to develop. We've got some nice scaffold foundational growth on these trees so they're able to handle the weight of the fruit. We do some thinning and pruning every year, and really that's the amount of work that we do with the fruit trees. It's maybe 1 day's worth going out there. And for myself, I find it quite meditative actually to go out there and tend to the fruit trees. And that's another aspect of gardening that I would encourage you guys to look into a little bit more, is the benefits, the meditative aspect of it, the health benefits of just being outside and connecting with nature. If you have the right state of mind when you're out in the garden, it's never going to seem like work. Year-round, we're harvesting lots of greens, dino kale, merit collards. Although our favorite time to harvest the greens are throughout the winter, they become very sweet and abundant. So between December and March is our favorite time for greens. We also like to include medicinal style plants in our garden, such as echinacea, aloe vera, ashitaba, ashwagandha, and that list will continue to grow. But one of the main things that I wanted to convey in today's video was I wanted to give you guys a little bit of motivation in that you don't need a big old yard to grow a garden. So you do the best with what you got. Utilize the airspace if you can. But if you can just get out there and start growing, not only are you going to reap the benefits of whatever it is that you sow, but you're going to gain education through the whole process, and you're going to be better and better at gardening. And as time goes on and you eventually end up at that dream property that you pictured in your mind, then you can utilize all that experience and grow the garden of your dreams, grow your own paradise. My belief is that we were all meant to have abundance on this planet, but it's still up to us as individuals to conceptualize what it is that we want to see out of life and to apply ourselves and to work hard towards our goals. So don't get discouraged if you're dealing with something difficult right now. I just want you to know everyone's dealing with something in this life. Maybe some people are having a rougher time than others, but you know what? If there's one thing that can make you feel better, if there's one thing that can help you heal quicker from whatever it is that ails you, it's being out in nature, being out in the garden. Alice and I just want to take a moment now to thank everybody who's been with us throughout the years, joined us on our journey towards abundance. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for being here. We sure would appreciate if you consider subscribing. There's a lot more content to come. We've got an exciting 2020 ahead of us. And so with that, we want to wish you a happy, healthy, prosperous new year. Until next time, this is Dan from plantabundance.com. Take care. I'll be talking to you again soon.